The NBA playoffs are heating up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. With same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out as the NBA postseason winds down.
Oh boy, the playoffs have gotten fun. The Nuggets-Timberwolves series is crazy, and we are locked in to see who comes out of Mavericks-Thunder as well. And if you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Jenkins. That's code JENKINS Jenkins for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Welcome to Jenkins Jonez on the Volume Podcast Network. It is Thursday, May 9th. We got another awesome night of NBA basketball, playoff basketball to talk to you about. We're also talking about Frank Vogel getting fired. Should the Lakers? We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about this NFL versus NBA players athleticism debate, and we're going to discuss, and we want to hear from the chat later on the dumbest ways that we've ever injured ourselves. But to start with, Jenkins Jonez, hosted by Dragonfly Jones, a.k.a. Tyler.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
LaJethro Jenkins, a.k.a. Vegas John.
What's up, bubbas?
I'm Guardabascio, a.k.a. Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
Motherfucking Mike.
And we're produced, as always, by the lovely and talented and never sarcastic Jackson Sapphire.
Are we talking like soccer today, or
we'll get to it? Yeah.
Come on, man. Come
no
on.
Today, my boy.
Fucking catchphrase, Jackson. We can't start the show until you do your fucking catchphrase, bro.
Is everybody recording? Because I don't know if I missed the prompt, but I just
shit.
Look at producer
Perrier.
Hey, you feel it?
I am recording now. Absolutely. I'm recording right now. Certainly. That was the question, right? Am I recording right now? Yes. Right now, I am recording. All right. Should we talk about that game first? Jackson, Mr. I'm so confident. The Boston Bozos do it again.
Boston Bozos.
And we're going to pretend to be surprised about it again, even though this is what they fucking do. They're 500 at home with Tatum and Brown. They're 500 against good teams. They're 500 against bad teams. This is what they do. We always act like we're surprised. Obviously, they could come through and win this shit in 5, but none of us should be surprised except for Jackson, who could not possibly have been more smug about this fucking series, which is now going to the heartland of the United States of America, tied 1-1.
Yeah. Go first?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Step to the podium.
Step to the podium. Yeah. I mean, like you said, strangely not surprising, which leaves me strangely not as stressed as I feel like I could or should or definitely should be after getting smoked at home in game 2 and back-to-back rounds. What I'll say is it leaves me definitely concerned about next round and a potential finals matchup. I'm still not particularly concerned about this round. Now, if I will say, and the Cleveland is at home in game 3, they should, that's where they got to protect their home court or whatever. If the Celtics go down 1-2, I will be concerned about this round. I'm not concerned about this round as of this moment. I do think this is a very bad sign for a potential conference finals or finals matchup. It's one of those things. It feels like a cliche, but I do think it's true that great teams don't do things like this. They just don't. They don't do things like this. Not this consistently, anyways. Maybe you lay an egg every once in a while, but it's the fact that this is not surprising. Half the time at home is, I mean, I don't think they have laid eggs half the time, but a 500 record at home in the playoffs is not good. And this is 2 back-to-back game 2s in the same playoffs against teams that have one good offensive play. I guess the Cavs have Darius Garland also, but they should not be getting outscored by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
24 points.
It just simply should not happen. And so I don't know. I'm still not stressed about this round. I will be stressed Saturday night if they lose, but it's not a good sign.
I'm
happy.
I'm completely on the same page with you where this is a repeated pattern where the Celtics are due for a stinker like every series, but that stinker is not going to have them cough up a series to a lesser team. It's something that's you're going to be concerned about when they play the legit teams where you cannot afford to let a game slip past you, right? So yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think they're in trouble with this Cleveland squad in this series, but it's just not a good sign that this team just always has a stinker every fucking series like that, bro.
Is this one of the best teams that consistently underperforms? Like when have we seen a team this good that gets their ass beat? You know what I mean? This much. Especially at home. It's just so weird. I just haven't seen a team like this that just I don't do they take their foot off the gas? Is it laziness? Is it, you know what I mean? Like what is it about this team that they play teams that they just shouldn't be they shouldn't even be competing with them? They're breaking records in the regular season, getting the playoffs, and they have games like this in every series. It's so weird.
Tatum, 7 of 17. Brown, 7 of 17. Derek White, 3 of 11. Drew Holiday, 2 of 7. The team shot 41%. They were 8 of 35 as a team from 3 at home.
Is that bad?
Sounds like it.
Not bad for me. I love it. I think I get this sense of, I don't want to say entitlement, but I think you're so right about the character of the team. That's like, and I would add, by the way, the Lakers have had many teams like this over the last several years. It's like they think because they're the Boston Celtics, because they've got a good seed, that they are entitled to something. And I don't look at how the Nuggets played in last year's playoffs. Look at how the Timberwolves are playing in this year's playoffs. The Timberwolves are playing like they're the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're like, we have to rip the head off of every opponent we're going to play. The Celtics, it's like they play like they're the 2-time defending champs or something. It's like, it's like even the way you were just talking about it, it's like, we'll push the switch, we'll flip the switch when we need to. So you haven't won anything yet. And you're the overwhelming favorites in these playoffs. And you still just come out and, you don't score 100 points. It's totally baffling.
They should be the hungriest team in the playoffs.
Yes.
How good
100%.
they've been in the regular season and how bad they played in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And also they got close to winning a chip 2 years ago and had some stinkers. Like, y'all should be the hungriest team. You've been too good not to win shit. It's, and it just seems like they have these games where they got out rebounded handily. They got killed on the boards with Jared Allen on the fucking bench. The best rebounder on the bench, and y'all getting killed on the fucking boards. That's just a lack of effort. It's like we don't care. We're the like Mike was saying, entitlement, and I just don't understand it.
And I know it hurts you. Like Jackson's a Celtics fan, but you're a Jayston Tatum fan. I mean, he's from your hat. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I don't get that too. And when watching him, they don't even seem affected. Did they even seem affected by what was going on the court? It didn't seem like it bothered them like it should have. You know what I mean? Like Murray's throwing shit after this loss. You feel me? Like I'd rather have somebody act an asshole than act like they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? After an ass whooping it, at home. It's crazy.
Yeah, and this is certainly not Drew Holiday's fault because he's like the 3rd or 4th or 5th best player on the team. But this was sort of, in my mind, was a big part of the Drew Holiday acquisition, was to theoretically avoid these kinds of losses. You have a guy who has won a championship, who can bolster the defense, can speak to a lot of these sort of challenges and can be a stabilizer type of player when Tatum and Brown, who we've have enough evidence at this point to say they're not as consistent as Celtics fans would like them to be. And so far, not happening. No stabilization from Drew Holiday. Kristaps is out, which whatever. And I don't know. This is the first time in a while I've said that I've kind of come around on Joe Mazzulla. First time in a while where I was like, what? Why is Xavier Tillman playing? Why is Xavier Tillman playing? I know that they're getting out rebounded. Why the hell is Xavier Tillman in the game? I do not understand why Xavier Tillman is playing. Some of the rotations for the first time, I was like, man, Maybe we
Also,
gotta
the philosophy,
not switch
dude.
the coach up or anything.
The
but
philosophy. That's
yeah.
a lot of fucking three. Like, bro, you're missing this many threes. You have to have a backup plan. You're not hitting.
Yeah.
How do we figure it out? You know what I mean? Like, I look at Jason Tatum, and I love Jason Tatum's game. He settles so fucking much. Bro, if you're not making shots, get to the fucking rim. It's like it's not an option for him. It's just, I just don't get it. I just don't understand this team. A team that's this good and has moments like this, and then with good teams just struggles. Wow, this nigga's so excited.
That's Mike right now. That's Mike right now.
I
saw a stat today. So I forget exactly what the number was, but it was that since Joe Mazzulla has been the head coach of the Celtics, they have the most losses when a double-digit favorite.
They were at 12. We talked about it on the last.
Which is exactly what we're
saying. And
saying.
they lost by 24 points.
Which is exactly what we're saying. It's one thing. It's one thing to have a stinker like the Nuggets did against the Timberwolves, right? Against a team that looks dominant.
Right.
That we're like, should they be the favorites to win the title? That's how dominant they look. It's another to do it against a team that just needed 50 from Donovan Mitchell in Game 7 or whatever it was against a team of 23-year-olds.
A team of 23-year-olds with 3 scorers on the floor.
Right, who I very much like.
Me too, but like
it's not even a shot at them. But like the Cavs took them 7 games, and the Celtics are losing to that team by 26. And I know the 3-point variance, all this stuff, but like at the end of the day, it's fucking nut up or shut up time. Like,
this is why I got a lot of Celtics fans who are tweeting at me that I was just being a hater when I said I thought the Magic could give them a series. This is it, man. Like it's an easy team to throw a wrench in the works. Like whether it's because of the attitude or whether it's because of character or coaching, whatever it is, like the pattern has been proven at this point. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
It's a team that's really good, and it seems like any team can beat them in one game.
Yes.
You know, game to game, there could be the best team in the NBA, but any team can beat them. You feel me? And I just don't get that. Like when you see really good teams, you know there's guaranteed wins. There's no fucking guaranteed wins with the Celtics team because they can just lay an egg at any moment.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's frustrating as a Tatum fan. I'd be like, what the fuck?
The chat is kind of lighting me up right now.
Really?
But this is a great one from John. John A said, someone on Twitter said Tatum is the Michael Jordan of Tobias.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
They do it a homie like that.
They gotta do it like that.
It. That's a good one. That's a pretty good one.
John's not going.
I hate to say it.
This is the thing with Tatum, though. This is the thing with Tatum. I feel like Tatum doesn't. I think Tatum has the ability he has the skill to flip that switch. I don't know if he has the mentality. You know what I mean? We'll see a great game when he drops 50, but we don't need necessarily for you to drop 50 in a game 7. We need for you to consistently grab hold of a game and take this motherfucker over when you see it's going the other way. Like Tatum has to have the ability to be like, all right, give me the fucking ball. That's the thing that's talking about with Brunson. Jalen Brunson will like, bro, like he's a guy that's like, I'm going to put the game in my hands and mold this shit so we can fucking win. How often do we see Jason Tatum not do that in big moments? Like you to be the guy, you have to do that. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing Ant Edwards do that in this series and in this playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him consistently do that. And Jason Tatum does not do that. And he has the skill to. Why the fuck aren't you?
I just always go back to Tatum when I'm watching him in the playoffs, and I think of that series he had versus KD, and I was like, bro, I think he might be ready to take that leap and to be the best player in the world. After that performance that he put against KD, where he was getting buckets, getting all of KD's jersey, making shit difficult, gave KD what I think was the worst playoff series of his career. Right. And I was like, this dude might be the best player in the world one day. And it's just he hasn't taken that leap. Like he's still a bad motherfucker. Don't get me wrong.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's just like I feel like we've seen the Tatum that Tatum could fully be, and everyone sees that except for him. You know, that's what it feels.
We felt this way for 3 years. There's like it feels like the majority of the time when I'm looking at Tatum, I'm thinking this guy could be the best player in the world. Like,
yes,
for 3 years. And then we see in the playoffs where these things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. It's the city needs this nigga. when St. Louis needs this, baby, we be rooting for you. You feel me? Like, come on, bro. I hope you have it.
Well,
The 50 in Game 7 thing is evidence that he's one of the best tough shot makers in the entire NBA, right? Period. And I don't know if it's a skill thing or a mentality thing or something else, but the thing that he seems to be lacking that someone like Jalen Brunson has is the ability to get himself a really high percentage shot. Any possession he wants. Tatum is like, I think he's a significantly better like tough shot maker than Jalen Brunson. But Jalen Brunson is way better at getting shots that are easy for him.
He gets to his spots, you know what I mean? And then Jayston, like, I think the fact that he's tall, the fact that he's so skilled, he leans on that in times when, like, bro, get to the bucket. And even when he gets to the bucket, we'll see a lot of this dipsy doing shit. Nigga, you are fucking 6'9". Go with that nigga chest. Why the fuck are you trying to, nigga, fuck all that avoidance shit. You go to the rim, either I'm getting a bucket or I'm getting fouled. I'm leaving with something. He leaves the fucking paint a lot with nothing, nigga. Like, my nigga, bro. Like, nigga, go quit the cute shit. Quit the light skin shit, nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get on your hood nigga shit, bro. You from U City, my nigga. Come on, bro.
He had a plus minus of -22 tonight.
Damn.
That's not good, I would say. I'm talking shit, but I still think they're going to win the series in 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all about the next series.
And and I'm not trying to shit on Jay. We all say he's a good player. He's a great player. A bad motherfucker. We just want him to take it to the level that we all think he can, like Tyler said. And it's just frustrating.
We don't all want him to. I mean,
yeah.
It's fine with me.
You anti St. Louis, my G? Come on.
I love Jayston Tatum. I genuinely do love Jayston Tatum also, and I'm rooting for him on your behalf as well. But it's just, he just happens to be on a team that, you know. I would say this, because Jackson's not the only Celtics fan I know who is so smug about this fucking series too. And but it's funny because it's kind of like that mentality from the team bleeds over into the fans. It's like, what makes you feel that confident about, like I was talking about before the series, like they lose half their games at home with this coach and these star players. So like, where does the confidence come from? That's like, well, you think the Celtics are going to blow a game to the Cavs at home? Like, yes. Consistently.
What would make you think that? You know what I mean? Like, you haven't been watching the last 3 seasons. Right. Crazy, G.
All right.
I mean, the confidence in the first 2 rounds comes from the fact that they make the conference finals a lot more than they don't with Jayston.
That's super fair.
That's where the confidence comes from, the first 2 rounds. They very rarely don't make it that far. So that got to give credit, a certain amount of credit in that sense, that when he has been on the roster, they are making the conference finals.
Super fair. And I mean, we're talking a lot of shit on a team that's going to win this series by 5 games, but I don't give a fuck because this was the night to talk shit. And Jackson picked Thursday because he wanted to make sure we could talk about the Celtics-Cavs series. And so here we are. This is the game that we got to talk about tonight. So
he got his wish.
He got his wish. All right. We also had a great game in OKC. The Mavs winning 119-110 to even that series up. We needed this series to be good because some of these series in this round are not going to be super competitive, some of which are not a surprise, some of which are a surprise. But we needed this Mavs-Thunder series to be the one. Luka scored 29. He was doing the like young athlete thing that I love, where when he was scoring, he looked healthy, and when he was not scoring, he looked very injured. You know what I mean? It's like, and then you hand him the rock. Oh, I don't know. I got a little knee feels pretty fresh right now.
The rock does give you powers, though. The rock does give you power. On your hand, you forget you're tired. You know what I mean? You don't feel injured. So I get it.
Yeah, this shit was cracking me up. Do you think that the Thunder arena looks a little dumb when they're losing? The like everyone wearing the same t-shirts thing. It looks a little silly, doesn't it?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No.
20,000 Oklahomans just sitting on their hands, all wearing the same t-shirt, looking like a big old family reunion.
Nah.
I have big city bias, but this is big.
Besides dancing together and shit. Like, you know, we're dancing dipsy do ass motherfuckers out there. That's all they got, dog.
I
like
so
head ass
cool
shit. I'm a
winning.
big head ass fan. You know what I mean?
All right.
I like head ass shit. I fuck with it.
I think they look a little goofy.
What was interesting about this game was like, did y'all see Kyrie? I have never seen him so hesitant to shoot.
He's very passive.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very passive offensively. And there were times where I'm like, yo, Kyrie got the shot. You feel me? And he's looking to pass. I've never seen him play like that before. I mean, he did a great job finding an open man, but like, also you a bucket, nigga. Like, we need that because, this might be the best game we ever see Tim Hardaway Jr. play in playoffs ever, bro. This isn't going to happen again, nigga. You know what I mean? PJ Washington, what he dropped? 30? Something like that? Yo,
PJ Washington had 29. Tim Hardaway, 2 of 4 from 3, 17 points on 60% shooting. But yeah, Kyrie had 9 points on 8 shots tonight in a win on the road.
Kyrie had the 5th most field goal attempts on their team tonight.
The hell is that about?
That's crazy. I wonder what. I don't know. From the jump, he looked like that. You know what I mean?
It looked. I would say this. It looked intentional. It looked like the plan was for him to just try and get a lot more people involved, and maybe that was what the intent was. It's kind of weird, but it definitely works. And he was. I mean, he's such a good facilitator. Even on, he had a couple passes on the break that were like not easy passes that made easy layups. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That
it's just a weird plan, bro. I like the Mavs too. I think it's a weird. I like him in the series. I think they got a real shot. I think we all picked the Mavs in the series when they first came in. But I mean, it's just a weird approach when Luka's hurt. You know what I mean? Like Luka getting 16 in the first quarter, like, and then that's with a bum knee. Are we expecting him to drop 30 balls with a bum knee? I feel like Kyrie would have to step up and score more, not hoping PJ Washington and Tim Hardaway Jr. would save you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Less minutes for Lively too, please. God damn, bro. Worthless. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the like, bro, he get hit with a beautiful pass, nigga, a drop step. You've been practicing this shit for 15 years probably, bro. You know what I mean? Backboard, no rim. I'm like, bro, are you playing with no phalanges? You got a thumb and a palm, nigga. Is that what you got? The way you ain't got no touch, nigga. You feel me? Get the ball, he punch it at the fucking backboard, bitch. How you even hit the backboard that hard on a butter roll, nigga? Don't make no damn sense. Golly, man. Anyway, that nigga off the fucking.
Yeah, we have an electric YouTube chat tonight. Elijah said Kyrie got overwhelmed being in a state that was so flat. Gave him flashbacks to YouTube page 26. W chat.
The Lions reside.
Elijah said, oh, if I can see the horizon and it's a straight line, why are they telling me that the earth is round? Yeah, he's right.
Also notice that Kyrie's beard goes pretty far down his neck. This is a weird thing that I noticed. But I'm like, why is your man like
he has this one? Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah. I mean, but it's like it actually curves. It goes with the curve. You're like, when you cut it right here? Like, who made that decision? But anyway, he got a full beard and I got this nigga. So you have that on purpose. Jesus.
You could grow his beard if you wanted to. You just choose not to. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we'll go with.
Yeah. All right. Frank Vogel fired by the Suns today. Look, like we talk about all the time. Fired NBA, NFL coaches, salute. Like, great job to have. But man, this dude had the front offices at the teams he had, and then basically got fired for having to coach the rosters that the GMs gave to him. Because what was he supposed to do with this Suns team, bro? He didn't sign Bradley Beal to that contract. I don't know. But the question is, it looks like Mike Budenholzer is going to the Suns. So of the options available, if you're a Lakers fan, you want a coach with a championship pedigree who's proven he can win with superstars in a high-pressure environment, who could maybe maximize the defense out of this team that has a Defensive Player of the Year caliber center and Anthony Davis. Is Frank Vogel not the exact guy that they should be looking for, or am I a fucking lunatic?
I mean, I would love Vogel back. Like I think all of us kind of agree he got a raw deal there, so I wouldn't be against it. But like I said, bro, I'm just of the belief that Bron is gonna be the shot call on this one, man. And I don't, and with the way shit ended with him and during his last Lakers stint, like I said, I don't think he was the terrible guy for the job. I think he held his own. I think he had just got to cut a raw deal. But if Bron is out on him, like I don't think it happens, bro. I think it's that simple.
Was there an issue with Bron? I mean, I wonder if they would even fire him without Bron's consent. You know what I mean? But was there an issue with Bron? And like, has this happened where a guy is, got fired and then 2 years, year and a half later, he's back coaching the team? Like,
Yeah,
I think that
Phil Jackson with the Lakers, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But it's I just.
Well, I don't know. I don't think he got fired though, but yeah.
I don't think he got fired either. But yeah. It's just I don't know. I would hope they would make it right. He should never have got let go. Like we've all said, he got a raw deal. But I don't like Tyler said, I don't know if Bron was out on him then, I don't know what would make him, be back want him back at this point. You know what I mean? Maybe he sees how shitty it's been since he's left, and like
here's one thing I would say about Bron is we do know he's a student not just of the X's and O's, but of the overall trends of the game, right? Like we've seen him move to shooting more jumpers, etc. Like he sees the bigger trends. There's no way you're not looking at the last 4 years of the experience of the Lakers and going, we fucked up by getting rid of KCP. We fucked up by getting rid of of the role player pieces. And if he's smart, in my opinion, he's seeing Frank Vogel as a part of that. But it has to be that you notice what you're missing and you have a desire to get it back. And so maybe just like you said, the last couple of years, and then watching the Nuggets and the Timberwolves and the depth pieces that they have, like understanding that is what's winning championships in the NBA right now. And I don't know why he would still be playing in the league if his goal is not to win championships. So there has to be some feeling of let's do what we can do to maximize what little of the window remains. I mean, that's what I hope at least.
He won a chip with the guy. You know what I mean? Like, do you really think JJ is going to jump right into the seat and win a fucking chip? Like, as great as he's been, that's going to be very difficult. He's not, what we saw Steve Kerr do that. I mean, he's an anomaly. I don't see JJ making this team a championship team with his coaching ability. You want a chip with Vogel? Run it back, dog. Figure it out. I think he's the best option for sure.
Yeah. And I'm especially biased to coaches who are defensive leaning. If you have found ways to figure out offenses in this league, right? Like we saw the masterclass that he put on against Jokic, in the bubble with that three-headed monster of JaVale, Dwight, and AD, right? Just brilliant scheme in there to shut down the eventual best player in the world. Like I said, I lean on the side of defensive-minded guys because, like I said, if you found out ways to figure offenses in this fucking league, like basketball. Flat out. And I believe that you can have some assistants that can kind of, pick up the load with the offensive shit. So yeah, I'm really high on Vogel. Like I said, I think he caught a raw deal when he got the boot last time. But like I said, bro, I think that the final statement with all these discussions about coaching is going to come down to if this guy is Bron's guy or not. I really think Bron has so much pull here.
And dude, that's what he did too. Like he figured out, but he knows what he knows and he knows what he doesn't. He got the people he needed for the offensive side, and he focused on the defense. You feel me? And they want a chip doing it. So I don't know, bro. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening, but I wish it would.
Me either. Here's my plea to LeBron James. Do you remember when Frank Vogel was coaching the team and the opposing team would score less points every passing game in a series? Do you remember playing against the Nuggets the last 2 years and watching the exact same game happen every single game? That the Lakers had a lead and then the other team made some adjustments and pulled ahead, and even the same motherfucker made the game-winning shot. Like, let's go back to, I think it was because I'm with Tyler. I love defensive basketball. It's not as apparent. Like, you have to really be paying attention to the games to see it. But I remember, I think it was the Portland series for the Lakers when it was like Dame went off for like 40 or something. Game one. And then every game they scored less and he scored less. And it was like, that's what you want from a coach. And yeah, like the fact of the matter is we just really don't know what all the adjustments are as you're watching the game, but you can see what the impact is when a guy is consistently turning the water off for the other team. And I missed that. That was fun. Pair that with the best basketball mind on the court and a physical freak in Anthony Davis. Like, do that again and throw some actual help around them with all due respect. Oh, all right. Austin Rivers made.
I get the emotion. I get the emotion. Mike.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But it's
just like, bro,
right there.
Well, when we were playing, it was really cool seeing us get the shots we want and other people not get the shots they want. That's what the Timberwolves are doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Nuggets do to us. You feel me? It's we know what to do. We just don't have the guy that can do that. And Frank Vogel is the guy that can do that. And we probably won't even.
Probably
I won't even.
The chat is almost a 50-50.
I've had a
what are they saying? What are they saying?
Yeah.
What are they saying?
Well, I did a poll that's 52-48 in favor of hiring.
That's more people than I would have thought would be in favor of hiring him. Because I've had a lot of.
Why are they so anti-Vogel? Like, I don't really know.
Lakers fans are crazy and they hate their fucking coaches.
I also think how many success stories do you have? Have you seen of a guy having a second stint?
Yeah.
It's a unique situation, though.
It's for sure.
Certainly. But the chat is basically like, I don't know if JJ doesn't have championship experience himself. LeGM is not good. Elijah just said they should hire. Just said Mark Jackson. Period.
No.
So no. This is the thing about Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson is good with the team. Like, I think he's good with the team, a young team. I don't know if he'll get a team. I think the Warriors needed Kerr to come in for them to get to where they're at. You know what I mean? But I think he's good at. I think he's good with the young team. I think this team doesn't need what Mark Jackson will offer, even though I think Mark Jackson should get another shot.
It's the same thing I feel about Kenny Atkinson, which is another name that's being floated. He brought those D'Angelo Russell upstart Nets into a 7 seed, and people were like, "Damn, overachieving." Yeah. But then you're not probably doing much beyond overachieving as a.
There's 3 different kinds of jobs for NBA coaches. There's guys that you hire while you're tanking. There's guys that you hire that could take you from, we thought they'd be an 11 seed, but they're actually
the rebuild. Yeah.
And then there's guys that take you from 1 through 6 to winning a championship. And from my perspective, yes, Steve Kerr's the anomaly. I don't look to find a new guy who can do that. I look to one of the handful of guys who has done it and can do it, and just fucking hire that guy. And I would add, that's the Lakers' philosophy. I mean, go get Phil Jackson. Obviously Frank Vogel's not Phil Jackson, but I don't know. That's my perspective on it. And I do think Mark Jackson deserves another shot. But after reading all the postmortems on what was going on with him in Golden State when he was out, we don't need we don't need all the religious stuff and everything else with the Lakers, bro. Like the Lakers are too old for all that shit, dog. You know what I mean? They're just they want to win and go home. They want to win and go home, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. What, John?
You and God have y'all always got beef. Like every pod, at some point, you got beef with God, nigga. You know what I mean?
Well, on a team full of probably pretty religious Golden State Warriors, there was some real weird shit that happened in that building, bro.
Bro, if Steph Curry is like, all right, that's enough, Jesus.
You gotta calm the fuck down.
Bro, you tweaking.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Bro,
church is too long for Steph. You tweaking. Go ahead.
Did y'all ever hear that story about when Mark Jackson went to church with Steph and had the preacher pour holy water on his ankles after the injuries and made Steph get up and dance and shit? Did y'all ever hear that story?
Yes, I just can't really picture that with LeBron James at this age, dog. I just can't really picture.
That motherfucker was in church hitting that. After he gets some holy water on his ankles.
That nigga doing the gritty, you feel me?
Hey, I will give it out. I'll give God this though. That shit worked.
Hey, man. Hey, while we talking, he looked like God's favorite for real, nigga.
Yeah, he really did.
Something happened. You know what I mean? That's God's favorite basketball player for sure, nigga. Fuck you mean? So I don't know, G. Get Braun in church. Have that nigga do the gritty. Throw some holy water on that nigga, bro. We need 4 more years of this man. Fuck it. Get on the good side of God. You hear me? We need that.
And keep God in your life, fuck, nigga.
Get some God in your life. Fuck.
I love that line so much.
Fucking Braun rolls his ankle and does that. I'll just fix my body by lacing my shoes up tighter thing. And then Mark Jackson comes over and lays hands on him.
Hit him with that.
My child.
It's so funny that we talked about that story because right before you talked about that story in the chat, FunkDoc11112 said he's going to pour holy water on AD's knees. And Jay Living said, pour holy water on LeBron's
minoxidil. Pour that holy minoxidil on LeBron.
If that hairline, if holy water fixes that hairline, I'm a believer, dog. That would be all I need to see.
Hey, send me some holy water too.
I got the holy rub-in foam. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna give me some 2 strands real quick for the one time. You fix my face fall off.
You're just doing it right here.
Send me some of that. Feel this motherfucker. You hear me?
All right. Austin Rivers has some comments this week that I'm excited to talk to you guys about. I'm sure the chat will be excited to share their opinions. He went on the Pat McAfee show, and said that he could take 30 players right now from the NBA and throw them in the NFL, but you could not take 30 NFL players and put them in the NBA, with sort of the underlying claim that it's a lot easier to make a career in the NFL or to get to the NFL than it is to the NBA. And a lot of people have been really pissed off in different directions about this. So I'm curious about your guys' thoughts on whether Austin Rivers is correct or not.
I'm gonna read a tweet from my guy Andrew Hawkins. That's the homie right there. Shouts to Andrew. And he had the tweet that I think just pretty much summed up the whole argument, bro. Where he said, the number one job requirement of being an NFL player is to be semi-psychotic with little to zero regard for your body. Now you list me 30 NBA players here in this thread with examples, please. And I don't think you can come up with 30 NBA guys who fit that criteria, bro. I really don't. Like, the athleticism is there for sure. Like, Ja Morant would be like probably the best wide receiver in the world if he really like locked in on football. But I just don't think those guys have the fucking mind state, bro. I really don't. Like Hulk said, you are playing a game where every series, it could possibly end in a very violent collision for you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be wired a different way to be a football player, bro. And I do not think NBA players are wired like that.
I agree with that too, but I also think there's not 30 football players that can make it in the NBA. I think on both sides, people that are arguing it, I think everybody wrong. I don't think, you know what I'm saying?
I think Austin Rivers is exactly right. You could turn Giannis into an NFL player. You cannot teach any NFL player the level of skill required to be an NBA player.
You think
Montrezl Harrell.
I feel like the 30 number. I feel like the 30 number mucks things up here.
You know what I mean?
I feel like the 30 number mucks things up here. If we're saying like if you can take one example and convert them, I'm probably on the side like, yes, you can turn a great NBA player into a great NFL wide receiver.
Sure.
I do think that. I do not think you can turn a great NFL wide receiver into a great NBA player. I agree there, but that 30 number just like that's what shit gets mucky, bro.
I think you could turn like 4 NBA players into NFL players. I think you could turn 0 anything that isn't an NBA player into an NBA player. I just think the skill level at this point is just like you can't turn NCAA All-Americans who aren't NBA players into NBA, like basketball players into NBA players. It's just such a different thing. And football, like, I mean, I have nothing. First of all, yes, you have to be nuts to be a football player. Jarrell Casey, who's from Long Beach, who is a 7-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle, he's my height. You pass that dude at Ralph's and he's 6'1" and like a little bit heavy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really more about the mentality. Whereas with the NFL, with the NBA, like there's so much skill development that, again, like you talk about centers who never shoot a 3 can hit 15 threes in a row and they're not even allowed to shoot in the game. You know what I mean? So I just think that to me is it's that skill level more than anything else.
Also, like 4 NFL teams make up the entire NBA.
Yeah, right. It just is easier. It just is easier, you know, and there's way more people that can play football. There's way more, you know, like Long Beach has produced 150 NFL players and 18 NBA players. There just are more NFL players than NBA players.
And I think like you were saying too, like, you know, NFL players aren't as physically impressive, like that mindset is there. But like, if you look at the measurables of NBA players, it's not like I told you I saw Josh Smith in Lennox Mall. You feel me? And it looked like he was dragging his arms 20 feet behind him. I had never seen a man built like that. You feel me? And I'm like, and then, like when you see NBA players, it's like, oh, I see why you're an NBA player. You're built like humans aren't built. You know what I'm saying? If you see NFL players are built like humans. Their mindset is just crazy. You feel me? And so it's just harder to win the lottery that you would need to win physically, you know what I'm saying, genetically, you know, to play basketball. But either way, like I said, like that 30 number, ain't no way. Fuck you mean.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah, that 30 is where too much dip falls on the chip. But like you said, like you know, take for instance Randy Moss, a guy who I think is the most talented, physically talented wide receiver we've ever seen. 6'4", which is freakishly tall for a wide receiver. That's an undersized two guard in the NBA.
He's Steph Curry.
Bro.
Yeah,
Bro.
He's the same height as Steph Curry, bro.
right.
Rob Gronkowski, one of the most physical, freakish NFL players we've ever seen. He's 6'6", 260 pounds, bro. Like, congratulations, you're a shooting guard, bro.
You got a lot of perimeter, my boy. Toughest fucking tight end in the world.
Congratulations, you're in the G League, my nigga.
Yeah, you got to stop the ball.
Good luck. You feel me? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why it's like Myles Garrett, who like is often thought of as one of the best basketball playing football players. He's 6'4" and he's like a truck, obviously. But he's not. Do you think that guy is staying in front of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell? Like they're not in the same. Yeah, it's not the same type of.
Peppers. We saw him playing basketball. Fucking incredible, fucking athlete. You know what I'm saying? Had the size. There was no way he was going to be in the league. You know what I mean? It's just difficult, man.
I mean, the one I would put like this is that Aaron Donald and Trae Young are the same height. Like it's just like they're just two different. And like whenever people bring up hardest sports or whatever else, it's like, yes, you absolutely make your case for hitting a baseball is like almost physically impossible. I'd point out with soccer, people complain about those dudes flopping or whatever. I think the average professional soccer player runs like 4.5 miles or 5 miles during a soccer game. Like there's all these insane skill levels that we don't think about. But to me, there's just no question it would be football or basketball that you would say is the highest skill level required. Or I'm sorry, soccer, football, or basketball, the highest skill level. And the NBA, to me, without question, is the most athleticism and skill combined required to play it. It's impossible to play, and if you're the best in the world at those skills but you're 6 foot, it's going to be a really, really hard slog for you to even like get a pinky in the door of the summer league. You know what I mean?
You can if you don't win the genetic lottery, you still can work your way into the NFL and even be competitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the NBA, minimum is to win the genetic lottery. You know what I mean? There's if you have it and you work your way to the NBA, like you said, you are a two-way guy. You know what I mean? Like the only people I've known that haven't had like have been extremely athletic that made it to the NBA were guys that were like, you know, two-way guys and never had like real, you know, careers or whatever, you know. So yeah, it's just that difficult to be in the NBA and be good. It's just hard.
Yeah. All right. But does the chat agree or disagree with us, Jackson?
The chat mostly agrees. Just there is one guy, Keith Anderson, who I think it makes a fair point that he's just saying size is not everything in football. Just because they're big doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna, you know, there's a requisite athleticism as well. Like the defensive ends, like you're saying, Julius Peppers is one of the most purely athletic people to ever.
You say exist. Keith Anderson?
It's just not.
Is that my cousin, Keith Anderson? Keith Anderson in the chat. Do I know you?
Answer us, Keith.
Answer us right fucking now, Keith.
If it's a Keith Anderson I know, we bring him on. Him and Ackdog would be my first two choices for old. Remember we were talking about doing like old head of the week?
Yeah, the OGs. We need that.
Yeah.
Is that your cousin for real or just your homie?
He's actually, we found out he's actually blood related to Shar. But so anytime he sees me, he goes, "What's up, cousin?"
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
He said, "No, sir." Different Keith Anderson.
I was curious because it's been a conversation on Twitter. Like white people don't really have cousins. Like, you know,
I don't. So I have two first cousins, dog. We do not have cousins.
Yeah, bro. Chris Crack got a song called "You Never Heard a White Person Say About My Cousin's House." Like,
That's a fact.
Can we talk about this a little bit? I've
Yeah.
wondered this, like, because for me, I think about like Somi not having family here, and we're like, yo, we need to figure it out so like the cousins see each other because that's so important.
Right.
Growing up, cousins gotta be fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? So what is it like? Why don't y'all fuck with y'all cousins?
Well, at least from what I have perceived of the Caucasoids around me, I think white people are much more
Can
likely
black people
to
say that? Can we
What's
say
that?
that? Can we say what you just said?
Yeah.
Caucasoid.
I think white people are more likely to, it's sort of like a stereotype, but it's also true. Like white people are more likely to fall out with their family, I feel like, of the people I know. You know what I mean? Like, because we have, like, for example, my grandpa grew up in like a 1-bedroom tenement house full of Italians in New Jersey with like 6 brothers and sisters. But some of them were fucking with stuff in New Jersey he didn't want to fuck with. He moved out to Southern California. He only talked to one of his brothers and sisters really after that. And so I still have cousins in New Jersey. I've never met them. We never had any interaction because my grandpa came to California.
Are you interested in meeting him?
Are you interested in meeting a bunch of people you don't know?
I mean, my cousins, nigga, I fuck with my cousins.
I don't know. I feel like, once you're this age,
it's kind of hard.
Yeah. If we were in the trenches when we were 9 years old at Granny's house.
You gotta be a pipsqueak. You gotta be
I'm interested in having known them.
Trying to make
I was
day,
a kid.
make it to the day, right?
But now I'm 40. I got 2 kids. I don't want to meet anyone, bro. Like we talked about this. Like I don't want to meet LeBron, bro. I don't need to meet anybody, bro.
I just want to go home. I get it. I just want to be home.
Y'all are so lame.
No, dog. I'm trying to tell you. You get there. You young, nigga. You don't know that. You're still a pipsqueak. You feel me?
Jackson, your brain is finite. It fills up, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
how old are you now? Are you not even 27 yet? Are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, okay, damn. So your brain just fully
developed. Basically retired. Okay, cool. I'm basically a retiree.
No, I'm like, dog. I feel like you'll get to an age where, like, bro, I ain't got. My mom been telling me this for my whole life, and I fully got it when I at like 35, when she was like, fuck the dumb shit. She would always say that, fuck the dumb shit. Nigga, I ain't got time for no dumb shit. Fuck that shit, bro. Yeah. Your priorities are a particular way, and you'll get it, G. Like, nigga, if it ain't at home, I really don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an option for sure, dog. You feel me? Like, nah.
So one of the things that's great about Shar being a mix of like black and Asian is her dad grew up, he has literally 6 brothers and sisters, and he only had 2 kids. You know what I mean? Like when he married Shar's mom, he told her, he was like, I don't want that many kids, maybe only like 4. That's what he told her. Yeah, so she has, between the 2 sides of her family, she literally, like when we were first getting to know each other, she was like, who's it? We were talking about family. And I was like, yes, me and my mom and my brother. And, it's like my dad had a brother. We hang out with him some at holidays, but when my grandparents passed away, like I've seen him twice since then. And then he had a daughter. So I saw her growing up, but then not really since. And then my mom she had more siblings, but they only, between all of them, had 1 kid. One of her brothers had a falling out with her dad and has never spoken to anyone else in their family for 30 years or something. So it's just, I don't know. That's just weird. That's how it is. Whereas Shar, I asked her, I was like, so how many first cousins do you have? And she was like, I have no idea. Like I have no idea.
I know what a first, second cousin is, but I don't trip off of none of that.
Right.
They just cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So unless they're from the generation before, like my cousin,
they're all uncles.
That's my auntie, the one. You feel me? Like she my mama's age. I ain't gonna call her cousin. I feel disrespectful. You feel me? That's like that person saying they call them motherfuckers by first names. You know what I mean? Like,
so wild to me,
bro. I would have got my ass.
Oh, talk about that, Tyler. Talk about that.
Go ahead, Tyler. Go ahead.
Oh, well, someone on Twitter. I will leave. It was a woman, but I will leave the race out of it. But I figure, we can play a cool little game of who done it here by the time we get to the end of it.
You know what I mean?
But she said something like the most unrealistic things I ever saw in a movie was kids calling their friend's parent Mr. or Mrs. Every week when we were growing up, we just called them by their first names. I was like, whoa. Are you kidding me? Bro, like I said, I cannot imagine 12-year-old me, 13-year-old me walking into my homeboy's house and walking past his mom and going, hey, Sheila, are you kidding me? In what fucking world? Ain't no way in hell, dog. Two Americas for real, bro.
Bruh, miss everything. And the thing is, too, I still do that. It's still Miss
For sure.
Carolyn.
I was about to say,
It's
I'm
Miss
not calling
Cynthia.
the
You know
homies'
what I'm
parents
saying?
by their first name. No.
None of that, bro.
if it's a new parent, if it's a new like in a friend that I've met as an adult, and they introduce me to their parents, they would probably say they would be like, "Oh, I'm Jim" or whatever, and then I would call them Jim. But anyone that I knew as a kid as their parent, still to this day, Mr. and Mrs. Yen. What's up?
I still think I might. It's weird thinking about that. Being I'm 41, I still say Miss. If I meet you, you know, even if I've met you recently, like it's like it's ingrained in me at this point. You know what I mean? If you're a generation above me, it's Miss or Mister. You know what I mean? Like me calling like my mom's friend Curtis, like Mr. Just what up, Curtis? I just can't imagine that. You know what I mean?
Like shit. I call my in-laws, I call them mom and pops because before I married Summer, they were Mr. and Mrs. But I feel like we're you know, now that we're fucking, you know, combined and we're a family and shit, it feels weird to call them Mr. or Mrs. And we're not cool enough for me to call them their first names either. I will never be comfortable with that. Right. So I don't think I would ever be comfortable with doing the whole first name for the friends, homies, for the homies' parents or whatever. Nah.
Well, so I have a question for someone who's like not your actual aunt and uncle, but like your auntie or your uncle, right? Would you say their first name after the word auntie or their last name?
I said their first name.
Yeah. Shar, everyone's uncle or auntie, and then the first name.
First name, yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Same page.
I don't know. I call my mom bro. It's my mom's been my bro since
sometimes
I was like 11.
My mom don't trip, but I apologize still. Sometimes I get my mom. You know, our mom cool, right? So I'm just rapping with her. We be talking like homies, and I'll be like, my nigga. And I'll be like, my bad. She be like, oh, I'm sorry. All right. I can never do it purposely. She knows when I get riled up. You know what I mean? Like when we really rapping, you feel me? But yeah, dog. Yeah. That's not something I try to do a lot of for sure.
I feel like it was interesting growing up in Long Beach in like a multicultural area because every kid of every different race code switched based on like whose house you were at. Because like a Samoan household is even more formal than like a Black household when it comes to ancestors. I mean, they're very like, you know,
you don't play about that shit.
They'll hit someone else's kids for talking bad. You know what I mean? It's right. It's very like everything's very respectful. But people will come over to my house. All my friends call my mom. Like my whole, you know, and we have people who live with us and all kinds of, so they just all call her mom. And when I went to people's house, my Black friend's house, Ms. Brown, and like, I don't feel like any of us ever talked about it either. You just like
just know the vibes, man. YKTV, you feel
me? What's funny is like, rather, you know what I'm saying? She called my mom Miss Laura. You know what I mean? Like she called her Miss, you know, but I think because she lived in New Orleans and all that shit, so that could be regional as well. Like you know,
Miss
she
Gladys,
like
Southern man would say.
Yeah,
Miss Gladys.
Yeah, man. So that's interesting.
I'd rather call my friends. I have a couple of friends' parents that I call mom, and I'd rather call them mom because they're like, oh, you can call me Erica or whatever, and I'm like, I'll just go.
Yeah,
that's cool.
What's up, Sheila?
I could never see myself now.
If you real close, my mom, they just call. I got like probably 4 friends that call my mom. You know what I mean? So it's just like how close you are. We like Adrian call my mom. You feel what I'm saying? Which is beautiful because his mom passed at 11. So like when he called my mom, that was like, bro, you know what I mean? Like that was, you know what I mean? And they real close too. They be talking on their own. You feel me? Like, I gotta call your mama up. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta call mom up. You feel me? Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful for sure.
There was a Twitter prompt today that was describe the dumbest way that you've injured yourself. My take on that was that every man has injured themselves punching or kicking something they were not supposed to punch or kick. I broke my hand punching a wall. Gentlemen. You got this one. You got this.
I have never
one.
punched the wall, bro. I
Yeah.
honestly thought that was some Two America shit right there myself. Like, I thought that was some white boy shit, man.
What's
I have
that,
never punched the wall.
Really?
Never.
You've never punched a wall?
Never.
I don't think I've punched a wall either.
Wow. That's surprising to me.
We came from particular households, though, Mike.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Everyone was punching everything in my house.
Shit was lamps was getting broke, nigga. Like it was different. You feel me? Like,
I remember talking to my brother when I was like 13 and he was 8, and my parents had gotten in a fight with each other, and they had thrown bowls at each other that had food in them. They threw them at each other. And I like looked at Matt and I was like, isn't it crazy that this does not trip us out at all? We're just like, there they go. One of them's going to go into the garage and throw bottles against the wall until they get it out of their system, bro.
I'm shooting hoops outside and I hear shit thrown against the wall on the inside. And I, like I said, grab, stop, think, listen, make sure everything cool. Okay, keep shooting. I'm fucking 14. It's just an argument. It's
They're just figuring some shit out. Yeah.
They gonna be all right. You know,
that's why I always tell people, like, my parents split. My dad left, got kicked out, whatever. And then at some point he was going to be homeless. And so my mom took him back into the house and he was sleeping in the living room. And I remember talking to my brother going, all our other friends with divorced parents are like praying for this. And we're both like, no. Have him sleep on the street, bro. Like, bro, I want to go to bed. Like,
I remember that came to us like, we like, stay together for the kids. Well, the kids don't want it. The kids don't want it. You know what I mean? Get this nigga the fuck out of here. Fuck you mean, dog? And we cool now. Shit is sweet as a motherfucker.
For sure,
but at that time, get the fuck out of here, my nigga, bro. I don't want no part of this shit. Happy home. Single parent mommy, nigga. Single mommy, please, nigga.
Yes.
Fuck the dumb shit. I'm over it, dog. This shit was crazy, nigga.
Get divorced as fuck for the kids. 100%.
Nigga. I had PTSD. I remember one day in high school, I was like 10th grade. Something fell in the house. I was asleep, bro. In the, high schooler sleep, like in the middle of a growth spurt sleep. You feel me? Like I'm in a different planet. Something fell, I jump up, go to the door. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Joy walks by me. John, she dropped something. I dropped so. You're crazy.
Yeah.
It keeps going. And I'm like, I am fucking crazy. Get this nigga out of here. I'm tired of being crazy, nigga. You know what I mean?
That is, I'm just picturing y'all being huddled up and they're breaking the news to y'all like it's gonna hurt y'all feelings. Y'all like, oh, okay, you leaving tonight?
Bro, nigga, right. You need some help packing, motherfucker?
My parents told us.
You want me to pack you a lunch up? I'll make a mean PB&J, my nigga. I'll even make you two. Yeah. If it'll guarantee your ass get the fuck out of here. God damn, brother. Ooh, shit, nigga.
Fuck me.
Bro, in college, like my mom was trying to get me to stay home, bro. Remember that talk-stash relationship I told y'all about?
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. My mom wanted me.
I'll never forget that story.
Bro, and this shit was kind of wild the whole time. It was 4 years. My mom was wanting me to come home during the summer because I had no classes and shit, nigga. I stayed with her crazy ass. Nigga, I'd rather get knives pulled out on me. Deal with this nigga. Fuck me, bro. I'd rather be playing Assassin's Creed with my girlfriend. You know what I mean? Zelda, nigga. With butcher knives. I go back and deal with this nigga. You fucking kidding me? Shit. God damn.
God damn. You really lived a life, John.
John's lived about.
You really lived a full life, baby.
No, man. I'm glad we're here, though. We happy as hell. I hit Mike all the time, like, can you believe we created happy households? Like, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, man.
John and I both talked about realizing it was a problem in adulthood that we were eating our food too quickly because we were used to it being like a competition for resources.
Nigga,
Like if
we
my
didn't
mom
eat
brought
fast,
home
we
a
didn't get
box of
seconds.
cereal,
Right,
it would
right.
not. We would. My brother and I would literally like fucking dogs with a bone, and the shit would be gone. I swear to God, in 15 minutes, I would eat 4 bowls of Wheaties. Like I'm gonna fucking get these down before you can get them down. Like
I'm gonna tell this story that my sister hates me telling, but I'm gotta say it. It's funny. So anyway, Joy was on a particular diet. Like she would get like, I need these groceries. She's always been very particular about that. She was training because she was going to play D1 and she wanted to be a particular health, right? So she would have, food that was for her in her closet, right? So one day, my little brother Aaron went to her like little stash and she was eating her shit. And Courtney goes in there. This is 4 siblings in the house. Courtney goes in there. Ooh, you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell, right? Aaron looked at her and said, "Aren't you hungry?"
Aaron's hilarious, bro. God damn it.
Summers, man, we was figuring it out, man. You know what I'm saying, motherfucker? But it was cool. It was still fun. We had hella fun, dog.
All right,
the
so
house was crazy as shit, though.
So dumbest injury for me, punched the wall, broke this one, went in, and boy, if you've ever been a man who's gone through the medical care system with that particular fracture, you are going to be so correctly condescended to. The nurse, the x-ray tech, and the doctor all like, did you punch a wall or a pole? You know what I mean? Like, you stupid motherfucker. And then the other really dumb one I have scars on my knuckles right here from punching John Allen in 5th grade on his braces.
Do you regret it?
No, fuck no.
Fuck
He was messing with my little 5th grade girlfriend, and I punched him right in his mouth, and I pushed his braces through his lips. But my knuckles I had to like pull him off his braces. It was a nasty scene, bro. But fucking forever. No, I don't regret it in the slightest.
2 name people usually gonna be a dickhead, bro. You know what I mean? 2 first names.
Chris Paul, bro. Prime example.
I won't say what I was about to say.
Say it, Mike. What were you about to say?
It was Mormon.
Mike, just stop. Do we need an intervention with you and God?
I know I land where Mike is normally, but every Mormon I've ever met is like
they are, but not in 5th grade.
World.
And I have Mormon homies, but Mormon kids in 5th grade, because their family dynamic is so unique, bro. You know what I mean? And then it's like you're in the elementary school. It's like you're used to being around 30 kids, but none of us are related to you, bro. Like we don't want to deal with any of this weird shit. Anyway, Tyler, what's the dumbest way you've injured yourself?
Dumbest way I injured myself, I think, was when I got a concussion in college wrestling with my homeboy, and I got goddamn a concussion, bro. I got goddamn. We was wrestling. He scooped me, and like my head hit the back of a wall and shit, and it was a severe fucking concussion because like bright lights would just set that shit off and shit. So I was going to class with a fitted and like some sunglasses on, looking like the motherfucking Unabomber, because me and the homies got drunk and wrestled like some dickheads, right? So that was probably the dumbest fucking injury I had, and that was like junior year. Like I was like 21, which is way too old to be doing that dumb shit. But yeah,
I remember in high school we do that all the time. We'd be like, "Who want to wrap up?" You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The niggas would just wrestle in the gym and shit for no reason.
I told y'all about my friend Dan, who was like he was a defensive tackle. He was big. He could consume an ungodly amount of drugs and substances or whatever. But Dan started, it was like a thing our newspaper would do when people got too drunk, where everyone would just punch each other in the chest as hard as they could. And Dan broke someone's sternum. Like he just
that's a good idea.
No,
yeah, he just like hey, you can hear it. Yes, because you can hear it. You can hear it go like.
Did homie don't you have to wear like a type of brace when that happens?
It was so bad. It was
that nigga was walking around with
you gotta
a
wear an
corset.
iron lung after you get your sternum cracked, dog.
That nigga had a corset on out there.
The goddamn RoboCop chest plate, bro.
Man, put them hands on that nigga, man.
Oh my God.
Where is Dan at now? Let me make sure I stay away from that nigga.
Dan lives in Dan is Buddhist and lives with his wife in Big Sur, where they're running a like a bed and breakfast. And he's
and this is the motherfucker who cracked the motherfucker's stomach.
And he got them paws on him. Hey, the universe probably had to. They didn't want to let him loose on this motherfucking planet, dog. We gonna make this man a Buddhist. He cracking sternups for play, nigga, recreationally. That's crazy. Oops, I cracked the sternum is what happened.
That's the dude I told you about was went through the Krispy Kreme drive-through on foot and was like banging on the window like he was out of his mind, but he was like, give me donuts. And we are like, Dan, you're across the street from a police station. You're 300 pounds of muscle. You can't be out here like this.
Was the hot donut light on?
It was.
Oh, well, I get it then.
The hot donut light.
That changes everything.
That'll change your life.
Fuck the police, man. We risking it all over them hot donuts, you mean? Yeah. I drove through the joint back reverse one time on some college wild boy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Bro,
and light was on.
No, in college, me and the homies would go and hotbox the whip in the Krispy Kreme park lot until that motherfucker went off. And then and then we go in and get a box to ourselves. Nigga, you talking about
box each, nigga.
Yes.
Bro, them shits.
Yeah, that Krispy Kreme on Battleground, man. My Aggies know what I'm talking about.
I was getting high eating Krispy Kreme donuts to like 34, nigga, 35. I was in Atlanta doing that shit. You feel me? Getting high as fuck. Let me order the fucking dozen of these bitches and crack these hoes.
Like a good Friday.
Hell yeah. Or a good Tuesday or Wednesday, motherfucker. That shit was fire.
I meant like tomorrow.
Right. Do it.
What, Jackson, what's the dumbest way you've injured yourself? You seem like a sensible young lad. I want to hear a really stupid story from you.
Okay, this is a stupid story. It's a stupid story. It's not an injury in the way that you're describing, but it's a really stupid story. So years back, I was in Hawaii with my brother, and my parents were. I was in Hawaii with my family. I have a lot of family in Hawaii, but my brother and I were at the beach, and we didn't have. My grandpa had dropped us off at Waikiki, and so my brother is like a very like daredevil kid. And so he went like up on this like wall, this big concrete like wall right in Waikiki Beach. Yes. You've been there, you know exactly what it is. And he's like, I'm gonna go jump off the thing. I was like, all right, just like don't be an idiot, but like I'm not gonna follow you over there. And then like I'm just like chilling by myself on the beach, and like my phone is in the bag. I happened to check my phone at the right time. I just missed a call from my mom, and I was like, that's weird. And so I called her back, and she was like in a panic. She's like, go find your brother right now. Something bad happened. I was like, what the fuck? And I just like took off over towards the wall. And as I get over there, I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? He is lying down on top of the wall with like people around him, and I'm like, what happened? They're like, he jumped off and like hit his head. So we like called the lifeguard or whatever, and they're like, we're keeping him immobile for now. Ambulance is on the way, and I was like, what the fuck? God. And he was like, head is bleeding, and he is totally fine. Let me start there. He is completely fine. But all this happens. It's crazy. We get in the ambulance, and they're like I still have pictures of him like with the fucking neck brace on. Right, they're trying to keep his spine safe, and it was just such a crazy scene. That I think that once we were finally in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, I'm having to like call my grandpa, call my mom, like go to this hospital. It's madness, right? I think all of this had my heart like racing so much that finally once we're on the way to the hospital, I'm sitting in the back of the ambulance. I faint in the back of the ambulance and like fall over and like kind of like hit my head a little bit on the wall. Swear to God. And so when we get to the hospital and the driver of the ambulance comes out and goes, yo, can you guys get a wheelchair? And they're like, yeah, okay. And they come and they get a wheelchair and they start to pick up my brother and bring him out. And the nurse or whatever starts to put my brother in the wheelchair. And the ambulance driver is like, what the fuck are you doing? He needs to be immobilized. Do not sit him up in a wheelchair. And she's like, isn't this what you wanted me to bring a wheelchair for? And the guy was like, no, for the other guy. He passed out in the ambulance. And then they wheelchair me in. I'm like, I'm good, guys. I'm fine. And they're like, no, we like protocol. We like have to, you hit your head. We have to like take you to whatever. So I'm in the bed. I'm like, this is insane. Like, why am I even in this right now? And then my parents eventually get to the hospital and they come in and they're like, I didn't have my phone on me because it's in a bag or whatever. I didn't tell them that I had fainted. So they come into the hospital and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing in the bed? Where's your brother?" And I was like, "I'm fine. He's over there. Like, it's okay."
How old were you when
But
this
it was
happened?
I think I was in college. So I was probably like
Wow.
21 or something like that.
Did your brother
Yeah.
fully recover?
He was
Okay.
completely fine. He just had a head laceration, had some stitches. His no brain injury, no neck injury.
I
Everything's
asked that before saying this. I feel like you stole your brother's moment right there. That was supposed to be your brother's moment, dog. That was you were not supposed to steal the show like that, bro.
Jackson got the vapors, bro.
I think you're right.
You got the vapors.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Have y'all ever fainted? I don't think I've ever fainted. I don't know what that.
Bro, me and my dumbass homies used to play the fucking faint game where you bend over, take 10 deep breaths, and come up, and then someone put you in the
I was
sleeper.
too scared to play that
Oh,
shit.
my
See, I
God.
thought that was white people shit. I don't know niggas that did that shit.
Yeah, we
I
did
guess
that
we
shit.
all kind of dabble in the white people shit, go in and out. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think we all kind of. I punched the wall. I mean, like, you know
Yeah, I
what I'm saying?
punch walls,
Yeah, I
but
punched
I've
the wall.
never done that game.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never done
yeah.
that game.
Yeah.
I punched the wall. It was like the green and gold game. Like when you're playing, I played basketball in middle school, and like the green and gold game when you split the teams in half.
Yeah.
You feel me? And yeah, anyway,
Scrimmage. Yeah, inter-squad.
scrimmage when we was playing in front of the whole school and all that shit. You feel me? So really excited about that. Said some shit that prevented me from being able to play. And
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I'll tell y'all later, bro. But it was normal. It was normal for an 8th grader at that age to say.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you fuck around, get canceled now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But anyway, so we
No,
got-
Tom
we
Brady
got-
made Tom Brady legalized everything.
Yeah, he's white. I'm not, brother. You know what I mean? The rules are different. But I'll get that pass. But yeah, so I got mad, hit the wall, and what's crazy is I tried to like tough it out, and be cool. Like when I hit the wall, like the shit went black for a second. I was like, oh my fucking, what did I do? You know what I mean? Tried to tough it out for like a week and a half. I played an actual another scrimmage like against like the high school team that was playing us like one game. And then like it just wouldn't get better. My hand was still swollen up. I went to the doctor. He said I'd broken my hand and it started healing and he had to re-break it.
Yeah, that's the.
So he
Yep.
gave me like gauze to put in my mouth and a hold to like bite down so I didn't bite my tongue, and then a grip with my hand, and he re-broke my shit with his hand. And as I get older, I'm thinking like, you didn't have to re-break it with your hand. There had to be something else. But he just wanted to test something out on me, bro. This was some Tuskegee experiment.
I tried to do some. I tried to do some shit like that with the. I dislocated my shoulder the first time, and I didn't know what happened. It's just if you've ever dislocated something, you could feel it in every piece of your body that something's wrong. But I just thought I broke my shoulder or something. I broke it under crazy circumstances. I was trying to pretend that or I dislocated. So I was just sitting on the edge of the bed, like holding it. And eventually, like my mom woke up the next day. She's like, we got to go to we got to take you in or whatever. The way they relocated it, because it had been out for like several hours, was they lay me face down on a medical bed. He duct tapes my hand to like a 50-pound dumbbell and then raised the bed up and it itself back in. But yeah, they did shoot me very full of morphine before they did it.
Hey,
which is probably the only time in my life I've actually been like high, but I was high as fuck, bro.
How did that high feel though?
My whole body was very itchy. I didn't like it. I don't like not being in control of my brain. Yeah, but it felt good afterwards. After the shoulder went back in the socket.
The best high I've ever had is after surgery, bro. I was like, nigga, if they sell this shit on the street, I would be cooked, nigga. They gave good drugs in the hospital.
So I had 3 surgeries on this ankle when I was recovering from the second one. The major one is when I dislocated my shoulder.
Yeah.
They gave me Vicodin and I was like, and Oxy, and I was like,
oh no, they gave me that shit too. I didn't take it. I'm talking about the shit that they put you to sleep with.
Yeah.
That shit when you wake up, when you still a little high afterwards.
Yeah,
I was cracking jokes, nigga. I was nigga.
Oh, I was.
I
was very inappropriate with the nurses,
bro. The person I was dating at the time, she was like, "Yo, can we take a little bit of this home? He's talking to people." He doesn't like anybody.
That's so funny, bro. I have the exact same thing. Sharon's like, you're charming as fuck coming out of surgery.
Oh, this nigga don't like nobody.
Jackson, any good dumbest injuries in the chat?
We had someone say they pulled a back muscle from sneezing.
I don't think that's dumb. I think that's old, bro.
That's just old.
That's
We've
old,
all got
bro.
those.
There's a lot of
hurt
fear of
yourself
aging
sleeping.
going on.
I've pulled a muscle stretching like in bed when you wake up and you're like, oh, and then like,
oh, that's rough. I wrestled with Adrian once, and he had to like get his shit checked out and take some meds and stuff. You know what I mean?
You
I always tell him, nigga, I was like, you don't want to fuck with me, bro. You had to go take medicine after we wrestled.
That is a tough one because y'all will be 78 making the exact same joke.
We was in front of his lady too. We was in front of his lady. Like,
oh shit! All right, Jackson, you said you had
that's my bestie.
You say Jackson, you said you had something else before we get out of here.
Very, very pressing story before we log off tonight. We've been streaming for a while. In the Luka Doncic's post-game press conference tonight, he is, doing his press conference. Everything seems to be normal. And then someone didn't realize that when you disconnect your AirPods or something, the video that you're playing,
who was watching porn?
Necessarily pause. Someone was watching porn. And it played loudly during his press conference. And Luka says something, and he just goes, and then all of the reporters, you can hear him start laughing, and Luka just goes like this. And then someone in the room goes, okay, moving on.
Who was it?
All right. Who's
we don't know. I don't know.
Was it a reporter?
Yes, nigga 69 God who was in that motherfucking
someone
room.
Who was in the room during...
We got to get to the bottom of that. The people need to know.
I was singing that line like the whole play ride, nigga.
Kendrick really gave us a heater with that.
Damn,
One of the biggest rapper in the world.
I saw BBL jersey. I just keep saying BBL. I was in the gym on the Stairmaster, and I just BBL jersey, and nigga, going back to my shit, watching the game, nigga. They jumped that nigga. That's crazy.
I can't imagine how horny or bored you'd have to be to watch porn on your AirPods during.
He's hooked like a drug addict, though. He's hooked. That's a drug addict. He has an addiction. He needs medicine. He need to go to the same doctor Adrian did after he got done wrestling. Get that nigga some medicine. I need medicine.
Get that nigga some anti-horny pills. Put that prescription out.
Yeah, give him some. Give him the opposite of the ED pills. To give him the pills that cause ED.
Nigga, that's wild though. That is extremely wild, bro. I wonder what he was watching.
I said, I need to know who it was. I need to know what they were watching. I'm sure we'll get the info. I'm sure the info will come out. That's all the time we got for Jenkins and Jonez. We'll be back on Sunday night. Hopefully the Celtics embarrass themselves again between now and then. Hopefully we get some more basketball games. I do. Well, I hope everyone has a great rest of the week and weekend. We'll see y'all Sunday night. Bye.
Bye.
And keep God in your life. Fuck nigga.
Fuck nigga.